remember fragrance 30 years from now and shit like that.
Absolutely.
So, um, conversation pieces, with hip hop and just general man shit, would lead to these guys being comfortable talking to me about their life and shit like that. And I would make it clear to them that I don't want to talk about no murders and shit like that. Like with Sean Branch, me and Sean Branch, who was allegedly Sean Branch was charged with 10 homicides. He beat 10 homicides in court. There's no reason for me to interview a person like that. That's not, that's not cool.
Right.
Um, that's not conversation
To
worthy.
glamorize.
Right. Boom. Me and him came together because he was a published author. You know what I'm saying? He had went to jail, served his time, got a diploma, college degree, and all type of accreditations, and reprogrammed his life. And then he came home with a book, and I was introduced to him, and he trusted me to tell his story in a way that he trusted me with reintroducing him to society. This is someone who was charged with 10 homicides when he was, in his probably late teens, early 20s or something like that. And he trusted me with that. And once people seen how I handled Sean, they like, okay, this is how this is almost therapeutic. These guys almost need to talk about this shit. You know what I'm saying? They never got a chance to apologize publicly. You know what I'm saying? They never, it's just
Right.
it works out for everybody. It's like, having a cipher and we sharing it with the public. Me and this brother from DC, he came to me with a story. We kicking it about things from the past. But like I said, I made it clear to them, we not on no killing shit over here. We
Right.
don't glorify that shit over here. You know what I mean? So same with Alpo. I told him that's what made him be able to kick it with me and shit. I told him, I said, I don't want to talk about Rich Porter. I don't
Right.
want to talk about that with you at all, my nigga. Like, we could talk about other shit that you
Yeah.
got going on or what you did, but we don't have to talk about that. And they respect that.
Right.
So,
Because I believe that there's a certain level of you humanizing them. So it's not
that word was used to me by Barry Michael Cooper. Barry Michael Cooper produced New Jack City and a bunch of other shit. I can't remember. Above the Rim, New Jack City, and another classic. And he tweeted that to me. He said, you humanize Sean Branch and shit. You know what I'm saying?
right.
So,
Because
word. I appreciate
again,
that.
absolutely, you did. It's essentially, pulling back the curtain and giving the public front row seats of, a behind the scenes, human to human, man to man conversation with these gangsters, and you did humanize them, and that's what I guess a good like a talented good journalist kind of does, maintains the integrity and humanizes the people. And yeah, and that's dope, so I definitely have to commend you on that. Now I wanted to ask you, because you've interviewed a lot of people, what would you say was your most challenging yet rewarding project that you worked on? Would you say it's the Haitian Jack documentary?
Nah. You said challenging. Challenging has been the Murder Unit saga, and that's because number one. It's been I'm on the fourth installment. It's been four parts, but when you're talking about the Murder Unit, you're talking about 9 niggas. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
Like whenever I mention Murder Unit, I'm talking about number 67. I'm talking
Yeah.
about number zero minus. I'm talking about number 22. Like there's a bunch of different guys, and I'm giving narrative on each of these guys, and I'm connecting the dots. With even some of the brothers who's deceased, number 23 and number 7, I believe. You know what I'm saying? And just making it make sense and again, telling their story and making it in a way that not one, but seven niggas is cool with it. You know what I'm saying?
Right.
Seven niggas approve, seven, eight niggas approve of it. Like, I fuck with that. I fuck with that. I fuck with that. So that's been a challenge. The Haitian Jack joint, after I secured the footage, it just, that shit just came to me, man. Like I knew what I had to do. I knew that the world was dependent on me. I knew it was like the biggest moment in my life. I knew that, this is where, Eminem got that song, "You Gotta Lose Yourself in the Mood."
Yes.
That I knew that this was that time, and I knew that it was in correlation to Tupac Shakur, and I knew that network TV was chasing me. What I mean by that, is that I knew that I had to get my shit off before network television got to Haitian Jack. They had already put the movie out, All Eyes on Me, the biopic. And in the biopic, they portrayed Haitian Jack as a guy named Nigel.
Right.
You know what I'm saying? And right while this is going on, I'm making my little moves and shit. And he took notice of me, and me and him hooked up right after the movie came out. Me and him hooked up like a few months later. Like, I know that corporate America is coming after him, and I know he want them to come. I know he want them. I'm
Right.
the little man, and as far as the bankroll, the finances, the resources, I'm the little man in this situation. I'm the underdog, so I had to go on in there, in the Lions Den with a guy who's been spoken to be notorious by some people. There's other people who love, adore, and admire him. You know what I'm saying? I had to go to him, live with him, eat with him,
Yeah.
and draw my own conclusions on what type of person he was. And it's definitely been the biggest moment in my life, turning point in my life. And so many other things happened because of that. It started with Haitian Jack. It ended with Dexter Isaac, and Jimmy Henchman called me, like,
Yeah.
and Mark Curry, like all types of. I'm a big deal all of a sudden behind this one project.
It's like a domino effect.
You know what I'm saying? Yeah, you could say that, but
But
yeah,
with that, it's not all
big
roses.
dominoes, like um, big culture, generational. This shit gonna be spoken of 50 years from now. This is about Tupac and shit. You know what
It's
I'm
a
saying?
huge.
This is in relation to Tupac's song "Against All Odds." You dig what I'm saying? So I kind of closed the chapter on that whole story.
Right.
It started with a song.
Yep.
He mentioned Haitian Jack.
And called him
Nobody
a
ever
snitch.
seen him.
Called
I
him a
went
snitch.
and got Haitian Jack, got with him, let him give his take and say what happened. And right after that, right after I did my thing, like you seen, corporate America got to him, and then he ended up on TV and all of that shit. So
Absolutely. But
I
you was
did
the
my
first
thing.
one.
Huh? Yeah,
You was the
definitely. I
first
was the
one.
first. My name always going to be associated with that. That's something that I've always, once I got in the mix for real, I wanted to make that a regular occurrence. That it wasn't. It ain't never been about money with me. I be trying to knock shit out the park. You know what I'm saying? I be wanting CNN to know about my shit, know about
Right.
what's going on over here. Like when I interviewed Aaliyah's bodyguard, like I be
Hmm.
shooting for shit that affects worldly pop and hip hop culture on a global stage.
Absolutely.
So yeah, word.
And I think that the level of responsibility that you have, I think if you didn't have to grind the way you did to get to where you're at to get these interviews, you wouldn't be able to appreciate that response or even, handle with care that responsibility that you have to bring the stories to the public, to bring it with integrity, with truth in a way where, it's not a smear campaign with people. It's in an ethical way. And again, I don't want people to think that it's a bed of roses because this also comes with jealousy, hate, and drama as well. When you start opening up, Pandora's box, and you start talking to different people, that can also bring a lot of drama into your life. So it's almost like you're riding that thin line between, do I cover this or do I run the opposite way away from this? Because this could potentially cause me somebody to come try to murder me. Because you hear about reporters getting stalked and all this other kind of stuff.
Right.
So it's definitely not an easy road. So I definitely commend you for your courage, your bravery, your integrity, your hard work, and everything that you did. Congratulations with all of that stuff. Now you said, because I don't want to keep you here all night, because I still want to play like a few games with you
We
and
good.
stuff. I always do that with my guests. But I know you said you closed the chapter right now on true crime and gangster stories for now, correct?
I felt that shit, Alpo that got killed. That was the last person that, I could have got on my resume. Everybody else that was big in New York City, Bemmy, Lou Steffen, just all types of, giants from New York and shit, them been on my platform and shit. Um, Shit, even Jimmy Henchman's on my shit, cussing and shit. You know what I'm saying? So Alpo was the last big whale as far as a gangster story. Um, it didn't get no bigger than him, and you seen the effect that he had on the world when he, got killed or whatever. Um, if I would have got Alpo, I would have been, the undisputed king of, the gangster media shit. You know what I'm saying? As far as, my resume and shit like that, I mean, nobody would challenge me online. Before me, Troy Reed did a lot of exceptional projects, legendary projects that will never be duplicated. He the first person, and he's the only person that has an Alpo documentary that's out. But when it comes to online, nobody has my resume or I got the real Rick Ross. I've been interviewed the
Right.
real Rick Ross, not over the phone, in person, in LA. You know
Right.
what I'm saying? So
And if y'all want to check all that content out, go to at the Real Gully TV. I have his banner on the bottom. Check out all of those interviews there. I wanted to talk about some projects that you're doing now that you mentioned to me. Right now, you're currently working on a documentary with Shaheem. Do you want to talk to me a little bit about that? I know it's not out yet, so
yeah,
you can touch on it a little bit as much as you want.
we about to start shooting like the next 10 days, some shit like that.
That's exciting.
Um, that's my guy. He's just his career has been just incredibly resuscitated after prison. Post prison, he came home. He's doing everything that he's supposed to do. Me and him met after he came home, and we did work together several times. Oats even out of town and shit like that. Just working and compatible and being the same age and both liking fly shit, fashion and shit. And,
Yeah, absolutely.
I've been somebody that he's, asked, you know, digital information, firsthand information, and advice in regards to his isometrics brand and shit, showing him how to, you know, put a stamp on that shit digitally, because that's what I do and shit. He's just a rapper and shit, you know what I mean? And because of that, our relationship went further. We, just getting busy. And before
Right.
you know it, I've done so much media. He didn't see damage I've done. He asked me, man, like, what's up? What's up with the? I was flattered. He asked me to do it. You know what I
That's
mean? I'm
so
like,
dope.
hell yeah, hell yeah,
You
hell yeah.
cannot be a hip hop fan and definitely not a Wu-Tang fan and not know who Shaheem is. Like Shaheem is like my age, so I just remember, seeing him growing up and he was the young dude in the crew, and he was nice with it. And I'm like, oh, he was
Right.
around, he was, the other guys his age, like Crisscross and those others rappers and stuff. He was always so much more advanced for his age. He was rapping with Meth and Ray and everything. And I related to him as a girl, because I'm like, I was his age hanging around all the older heads too. And I'm like, he's dope. So I'm excited to see that for sure. Um, so besides the Shaheem documentary, tell me what you're excited about. Well, before you tell me what you're excited about for 2022 and the things that you're working on and stuff, I want to know, as I said before, you're a larger content creator, and I really appreciate you coming to a smaller content creator channel like mine and showing me love and sitting down and kicking it with me. I appreciate that. But for other people that are smaller channels or maybe trying to grow, what advice would you give um, smaller content creators in building their, I guess, channel, social media platform, or what advice? Like, what's like the number one thing that you learned on your grind?
Originality. I wouldn't, because this is YouTube is almost like MySpace now, like where everybody has one now. You know what I'm saying? So
Right.
because of that, people ain't gonna have the same success right away, not unless you have some interesting content.
Right.
And what I mean by that is just good conversation and being able to connect with a crowd whenever you presenting them with something. I do a lot of my own narration, or I type it on the screen and shit like that. But you gotta. I noticed that a lot of people try to get on YouTube and they try to go the tabloid negative route. Get into the gossip and the fighting and beefing with other YouTubers and making videos about people and shit like that.
Trolling.
Yeah, I guess that's the name for it. That seemed to be something that a common thing that people do, but that's not. Those are the people who won't really get any
Lasting
footing.
power.
Yeah, they won't get any footing and they won't be around because so many people are doing that.
Right.
You dig what I'm saying? So I would advise people to do shit that's original, flavorful, have good lighting, colors.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying? Hold on.
That's true. Colors is a good one, especially in your thumbnails and stuff. I heard that's really good. That's so dope.
So
Is that Ted
yeah,
Bundy?
colors.
Is that Ted Bundy?
Huh?
Is that Ted Bundy?
Oh no, that's Pablo Escobar.
Oh, I was like, wait, is that a serial killer, Ted Bundy? But yeah, that is Pablo. That's dope.
Yeah, that's Escobar.
Did you draw that?
No, this is a Francis G original. Francis G is a popular artist who's on the rise. I got a chance to interview him before everybody else. You know what I mean? And he's putting out dope. He does burners. He does murals. I think he might have redid Big L's mural up in Harlem. But yeah, he sent me this piece. It's an original piece he did for me. Probably end up on a T-shirt one day. It's
No,
fire.
yo, I really like that. That's definitely dope. Why did I think that was Ted Bundy? I was about to be like, whoa, okay. That's what's up. But there's one thing that I learned, from your book after reading it. One thing popped out at me. Believing in yourself is a full-time job. That's what I took after reading your book. Believing in yourself every day is a full-time job, and I think that people need to, that's what I took after reading that, because I'm like, damn, you went through so much, and we didn't even get into your autobiography. I can't wait to read that, but it definitely wasn't a cakewalk. Your journey definitely wasn't in a cakewalk, but you didn't stop believing in yourself and you kept it original. So I think that's why you have the success that you have, and you always keep it 100. So, and that's what I want people, to take away after this interview is to, regardless of whatever you see online, you a good person and you have integrity, and you you worked hard just like anybody else to get to where you're at now, and it wasn't easy for you. So
Right.
that's what I took away from after reading your book.
I got 3,000. I'm about 16 interviews from having 3,000 videos online.
That's a
Um,
grind.
I've always, I was always into sports. Like I said, I'm a basketball player, point guard, used to winning. Winning has always been the objective. You know what I'm saying? So I came here feeling that I was better than people. I don't got no problem saying that. I think they call that narcissistic